Hello everyone, my name is KHi An. I'm a 10th grader. And I'm very excited to be the host for today's show, Chuyện Cỏn Con, the little things. As a 10th grader, I'm often get asked by my parents, which career path will I choose? Who do I want to be in the future? But that's when the hesitation kicks in because they're all difficult questions to answer. Because the world is significantly changing, and there are a lot of job opportunities out there for us to choose from. Not just for me, also for young people out there too. Just last year in our curriculum, we had a business course where we got to join a lot of business competitions. We had one called the Blue Ocean Competition where we got to think outside of the box and created a lot of innovative products and submit them to the competition. We also had one called the Vietnam Business High School Competition where we failed to advance to the next round, but after the course, I found myself even more curious about the business sector and also delve into the business sector of Vietnam and the world. So that's why I'm very excited to be the host for today's show. So please welcome Mr. David, who is a very well-known entrepreneur. He has created a lot of job opportunities for people here and also contributed a lot to the economy of Vietnam and the world.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you for accepting our invitation to the
Happy
show.
to do so.
Yeah. Business is very popular right now. A lot of people go for business when they think of a future job because when it comes to business, it comes to creativity, it comes to resilience, it comes to thinking outside of the box. So a lot of my schoolmates or a lot of my peers want to start up their business, want to become a successful entrepreneur in the future, but they wonder how can they do that? What's the key? What's the key to the success? What's the key to become a successful entrepreneur? That's why I'm here with Mr. David with a lot of questions for him to answer. So are you ready to answer all of these questions?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Can you tell a little bit about your background, about yourself, and what about your business?
Okay, sure. I grew up in the USA, Southern California. Later in life, moved to Dallas, Texas, where currently that's my residency. I've been in Asia over 30 years, between Mexico, Taiwan, Japan, China, Cambodia, and now Vietnam. And I started my international career at age 19. The whole time I've been doing business, mostly international. Only a small amount of business in the US.
Starting up your business at 19 years old is very insane because for me right now, 3 years away from 19 years old, I have no idea about my future. I'm very clueless. Who do I want to be in the future? Do I want to be an entrepreneur? Do I want to be a singer? I have no idea. So there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of things I have to confront in order to have more clear vision of my life in the future. So also about your business, about how you turn your business from domestic to international, which I think is a very challenging journey because there are a lot of things and there are a lot of terms I don't know. So can you tell a little bit about it and how you overcome the challenges, overcome the hardships, not only about starting up your business at such a young age, but also about expanding your business to an international scale?
Okay, sure. The most important thing is to not be afraid to fail, right? If you're not a failure until you actually give up. So you fall down, you brush yourself off, and you get back to work. And I've failed many times. Most successful people will tell you that they failed many times before they've had success and failed, success and failed. And in the end, unless you give up, you can be a success. And it may take many years. Don't be in a rush, but just be persistent and don't give up. That's the most important thing. I ran into many problems while doing business, especially international business, because you go to a new country, you don't know the language, you don't know the customs, and so many problems to overcome. And that's one of my forte is problem solving, thinking outside the box and problem solving. Much of what I know, if not most of what I know, came from solving problems. You run into a problem, you have no idea how to resolve it, and then you just work and think and find a way to resolve that, and you learn so much from that. So people shouldn't be afraid of having problems.
So people in business don't have a lot of pessimistic view about their life, but rather want to foster this thinking outside of the box mindset. But that is very challenging for a lot of young people who are in the later generations, because they face with a lot of, for example, short span attention, or they have to face with, the internet, social media platform. I think that's also the reason why many people right now don't want to take risks, don't want to step out of their comfort zone, because they're scared of failing. In Vietnamese, there's a saying that says, thất bại là mẹ của thành công, which basically translates into failure is a matter of success, which I think sounds a little bit cliche, but it truly does apply to the context of the world right now. You also talk about creativity or about your forte. Can you tell more about it so that the young people out there who want to start up their business can know more?
Well, I started my international interest in the international business at 19, but before that, I was always into electronics and things mechanical, especially cars and motorcycles. Actually, from the age of 12, I knew what I liked, knew what I wanted to do. Of course, I didn't think about I was going to be a businessman, but I knew electronics and mechanics, and that's where my whole life has been focused on, is business, doing something that's either in electronics or something mechanical. So, I mean, I know a lot of young people also that they have no idea what they're going to do. It's very important to learn to find what your passion is. Try many, many different things. Try it, and if you don't like it, you can stop, but that doesn't mean you're a failure. That just means that is not what's right for you. Try many things and find what your passion is. And so I suggest you spend a lot of your effort in trying to figure out what you want to do in the future.
So in Vietnam, we have this culture wherein we separate our party life and our academic life. How do you think about it?
For me, my business is my personal life. Many people I know, they get home from work, they're tired, they turn on the TV, watch football, drink a beer. When I get home, I'm doing business.
Very inspirational. I think that we have to focus on something in order to be successful in it.
Yes.
So we have a lot of key terms here. We have resilience, thinking outside of the box,
Persistence.
Problem-solving skills. What do you think is the most important out of the four components?
Well, when you bake a cake, what is the most important ingredient?
The flour.
No, they're all important. If you just have flour, you can't make a cake, right? All of them are important. You need all of them to have the final product. So, if you're curious but you don't have persistence, that curiosity will only take you so far, and then you give up. You have to be persistent, right? You have to be able to think outside the box in order to solve the problems. So all of these ingredients are necessary to bake that cake.
Also, there's a side component that we have not mentioned about, which is luck.
Yes.
Can you tell more about luck?
Right. You learn as much as you can. You work as hard as you can. But in the end, a lot of it depends on luck. Whether it's luck from the stars or luck from God. Okay, I believe it's from God, but every successful person I know will admit that part of their success was based on luck. They were in the right place at the right time. And throughout my life, I've thought, man, I'm looking for that luck. Where's my luck? And sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and you just keep moving forward. And someday, it will come. It will come to you. That door will be open. So be patient. You got to be patient. Just keep working. And patience is part of persistence. And of course, when you're not successful, you want to think, oh, he was just lucky. Yeah, of course, part of it was luck, but it's because they were not afraid to take the risk. Right? It's very important to not be afraid to take the risk. If you run into a problem, you fail, you got to get back up and do it again. It may take a while, it may take a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of years before you've healed from that failure. but you're, as I mentioned before, you're not an actual failure until you give up completely. Get up, brush yourself off, and keep moving.
One thing that just popped up in my mind when you talked about wanting to step out of their comfort zone or taking risks and how that ties back to entrepreneurship, I just thought of networking. Do you think networking is important?
Oh yes, networking is extremely important, extremely helpful. It can make the difference in your business. I'm actually part of a group called BNI, and they have many chapters here in Hanoi. It started in the USA, and in there everybody's an entrepreneur, and you share business, you give business to each other. And that's, as I told you before, that I met my partner through this networking business. Yeah, the more people you know, the more contacts you have, the better opportunities you will have.
So one thing about that also is about like cooperation and collaboration. How do you have or maintain this healthy relationship with your partner?
That's actually a very good question, because so many partnerships fail.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've had probably 3 partnerships that have failed over the years, and it just, you have clash of your personality, clash of your the way you think, and it just doesn't work out. So you just move on. You find something else to do. It's not nothing to be embarrassed about. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You just keep, okay, I'm looking for the next opportunity, and so. You're not always going to get along with the people you work with, and that, in fact, that's part of the why I do business for myself. Because if I work at a company, I often don't like the way my boss does the business, and I want to do it my way.
Before the end of our talk show, I'd like to ask Mr. David to share his final thought to the younger generation.
Yes, I find the most important thing for young people is to not be afraid of challenges. Okay, life is a challenge, school is a challenge, business is a challenge, but it's a learning experience.
Don't be afraid of that.
Don't be afraid of challenges. To become successful in any field, we need to dare to think, dare to dream, and turn it into specific actions, perseverance, and unwavering efforts. Just like Mr. David, to become who he is today, a very well-known entrepreneur. He has to dream, to think, and whenever he fails, he stands up again. I hope that all young people out there dares to think, to dream, just like Mr. David, and remain steadfast on the path that they have chosen. And I know that for even myself, I need to strive even harder to become successful in the future, if not an entrepreneur. Chuyện Cỏn Con, the little things has now come to the end. Thank you, Mr. David, for accepting us and for being here with us and sharing his valuable lessons about business and entrepreneurship.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to support us by subscribing to our channel. Thank you and see you again. Goodbye.